Ah, hello. Welcome in. Please give me just a moment. I'll be right out. Ah, there we are. Hello. What can I? Ah, it's you. Ah, welcome back. Oh, how very exciting to see a returning adventurer. Please, have a seat. I have a few chairs there for you. You're doing well, I hope. You look, well, you look less green around the ears than you had before. hmm I imagine you've seen things, haven't you? More of the world. You look it. Worldlier, I mean. Oh, yes. You can see it plain as day. And it looks good on you, I'll have you know. You wear it well. Time, age, experience. It dulls some and sharpens others. For some, they grow weary, and the spark in their eye, it twinkles just so slightly less bright. Others, though, oh, the sights, the knowledge of what's out there, it only has them hungry for more. You seem the latter type. And I can only imagine that's so if you've managed to come out far enough to find my shop again. I'm hardly an easy stop down the street. No, but you've taken the time to come specifically here to see me, and I do appreciate that repeat business. Well, no, I suppose you didn't technically buy anything the last time you were here. But that's just a game of semantics. I'm a part of that second group as well, hungry for knowledge and eager to explore new corners of the world. My shop doesn't tend to stay in one place, although those looking for it can always find it. Anyhow, I should be a good host. I've been terrible thus far. Here, I've got tea going. I've just about always got tea going. Let me grab you some. I'm sure you could use a drink. Would you prefer something iced or something hot? Alright, well, let me get that mixed up for you. Here we are. cream and sugar are there, so feel free to add them to your liking. Ah, that third pot. Well, unless you've become a vampire since our last meeting, I don't imagine that's something I would recommend adding to your tea. I mean, by all means, you're free to try it if you feel you would enjoy the taste of iron in your drink. I'm not stingy, but I do find that's not much to human tastes. Anyways, on a slightly less distasteful note, my apologies. Your drink should be a perfect temperature. The cup is enchanted, rightly so. Ah, the benefits of a shop frequented by practitioners of magic. Sure, this is only a small magic, just a trinket, but it's useful in its own way, isn't it? I do so love my toys. Speaking of which, those that you were gifted with upon your last visit, I hope they've been helpful to you. Oh, no, 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 no. Please don't fret. Truly, they were gifts. I had no use for them, and I have no need to take them back. Truthfully, you've helped me make space for newer, more exciting toys. I'm something of a collector, and I'm always wanting for space for more toys. I can show you a few of my newer items if you'd like. Although, this is a business, as you so pointed out. Only fair to have an exchange, yes? Not monetary, no. I rarely trade in money. But I would love a good story. Oh, it doesn't have to be exciting or adventurous. I simply like to hear of others' lives. I will show you some trinkets. Maybe even let you borrow a thing or two, should it really stoke a twinkle in your eyes. So long as you promise to sit, relax, and tell me some of your stories afterwards. Oh, after all, I do smell another vampire on you, and that has me curious. Oh, yes, Dorian and I. We are both avid collectors, and we've both been around for, well, some time. We keep an eye out for items of interest for one another, naturally. Books. Yes, he does love his books. I keep an eye out for them, amongst other things. Curses are easy to make, but difficult things to undo. Not the simple ones, not the easy maledictions, not the charms with ill intent, but true curses, the kind that root themselves into your soul, the kind that become part of you, that homogenize themselves with you. Those kinds of curses. They are very dark things. Think of it as that cream and sugar in your tea. Very easy and nothing to mix them into your drink, correct? Now, what if I were to very politely ask you to take them back out? It's not my business, but greater feats of magic have been done before. While I peruse the world, looking out for something, someone to help a friend. It certainly isn't the worst thing I could do now, is it? Ah, how serious I've gotten. My apologies. I don't mean to wear down on you. I just find you to be interesting folk. I find it easy to take my time with you. Oh, I haven't even asked what you've come for, have I? Truly, I'm very sorry for that. You must be looking for something special. Yes, I have the everyday items, or the mandragora extracts, the bottled moonlight, the usual fare one can find in Century City, and even the more exotic dragon scales, pixie wings. Oh, all sourced in only the most ethical of ways, of course. How does one source pixie wings ethically? Well, pixies do shed their wings once or twice throughout their lifespans. Oh, and it's an unbearable time for them when they're flightless. I spend time with the hives when my stock is low. I take the temporarily flightless pixies wherever they wish to go until their new wings come in. Once I have permission to keep those shed wings, of course. Oh, yes, I'm sure they'd let me just have them without going through the trouble, but their wings are useful to me, even if only as an item to trade. It's only fair they get a useful favor in return, isn't it? Equivalent exchange, and so forth. Even still, These aren't the types of ingredients I feel you've come for. I'm not sure you even know what you've come for, do you? Ah, well, that does settle things then. I have a few particular ingredients, powerful things, potent. Unfortunately, these aren't the sorts of things I can trade, not for stories. Oh, but they're also much too valuable for something as mundane as money. Let me show you what I have before we discuss payment. How about that? Well then, let me retrieve my special collection from the back. I'll bring it out for you. Here we are. Not a particularly special looking trunk, is it? That's entirely the point, of course. You wouldn't label your priceless treasures as such, would you? Let's unlock it here. There's an enchantment here that cost me quite a few favors. The first of my three treasures. Powerful things do have a habit of coming in threes, don't they? Here, a morning lily. Oh, and look at that. The missing petals have nearly regrown. This isn't an ordinary lily, of course. This lily is from a particular forest to the east. One long overrun by chaotic magic and the unseelie court. It's a place where time doesn't run as it should, and walking a straight line can often take you on a curved path. This lily stood in the forest long before sentient beings ever did, and it withstood every shift of tides. Why is it the way it is? Resistant to time and the sway of magic. I couldn't tell you, to be truthful. I believe it to be less inert and unaffected and more. Simply that the magic of the flower itself is strong enough to overcome. But there are few things, if any, that I've found with more potent life than this deceptively simple looking flower. Unearthing it from that forest had no discernible effects on the plant. It hasn't wilted even a bit since the day it was uprooted. It's not been kept in soil, nor has it been watered once. Yet it thrives. It continues and it persists. The petals have extraordinary magical uses. 8 petals in total. And they grow back once plucked, but only after similarly extraordinary amounts of time. These petals here, the 4 smaller ones, those were bartered to a witch when the world faced chaos many years ago. And they're only just beginning to reach a full size again. This one here, that was used for, well, it's not important. It didn't work anyhow. Magic that requires life. Magic that connects you to the very soul of this world. That's what you'll find here. Now, our second showing. Something equally as spectacular, I think you'll find. There was a great magic that was performed a very long time ago that left the world a different place than it once was. The aforementioned petals were the solution to this great change, in fact. Infernal beings travel between realms, between worlds as they please, but they never touch the doorways that they pass through. And this is a piece of those doorways. This came when something other fell into this world at ground zero. This is something that doesn't belong in this world. It doesn't belong in any world. Nor do I expect you would find it in any other. I will advise you not to look at it directly for too long. It isn't something that's meant to be perceived. Even myself, with all of my charms and all of my modifications, my sturdiness as a vampire, even I have my troubles with it, truthfully. It takes the form of fabric, yes. gossamer, silk, the finest fabric you could possibly imagine. It's, uh, well, I did tell you it wasn't meant for perception, didn't I? It doesn't truly have a size, so far as I can tell. Its edges, they don't quite exist, and running your hand over it becomes quite difficult to tell where the fabric has ended and where something else has begun. This is a piece of the lattice that connects our worlds. It's a piece of something broken. Not to worry. Something that's fixed, repaired, but forever different for it. If the morning lily is the soul of our world, the gossamer is what binds it to the body of our universe. Oh, dear me, I don't mean to frighten you with these things. They're simply quite grand. They are immeasurable, wondrous things, impossibly beautiful. But I understand that can be frightening in its own way. Nobody wants to be Icarus, after all. And nobody wants their wax wings melted away. I still find myself in awe of them, truthfully. I got the idea that you were looking for something uncommon, something extraordinary when you came in, but I suppose I didn't ask if you knew you were looking for something of that sort. Although, looking may not be entirely accurate. Needed, I believe, is more well suited. I didn't ask if you knew you needed something extraordinary, but something tells me you can feel them calling for you. Something about having a piece of them. It feels right, doesn't it? I knew it. This is... This is very exciting. I knew you had a spark. When I first met you, I could tell, but this... You are truly an extraordinary creature. You know that. This isn't just a spark. You are a blaze an inferno, torrential. You are something truly special, and it's only because I can feel that from you. Because I can feel the essence of a witch I met a long time ago reverberating within you. They were very special in a similar way, and I expect you will do wonderful things, important things with this world. It's because of this and only this that I show you my third treasure. These other two items, you can feel them, can't you? Had you maybe wondered why you couldn't feel them before? Not when you walked in the door, but these are items on a scale of nothing else. They have a magnitude of their very own. These are items you should have been able to feel on your way here, on your travels, before you were even close to them physically. So why? Why now? They're kept in nothing more than an enchanted box. And that's where the trickery lies. You've already seen my third item. The spell to undo the lock was only on the lock, not the box itself. I've hidden what might be the most mysterious item right in plain sight. This box is abnormal. The areas between worlds, they are full and structured. And just because we can't perceive them doesn't mean they aren't there. They are well documented. And the morning lily, its magic is immense. I don't understand where it comes from. But innately, we do understand magic to a degree. But this box is a void. It is magically inert in a way that nothing else is. Magic cannot and does not exist in the space that this ordinary seeming wood inhabits. In all universes, in all worlds, magic can and does inhabit all space to some degree. There may be spaces empty of magic, but that is different to being void or inert to magic. Those spaces will fill back up. The magic will equalize with the surrounding magic. This box is soundproof, so to speak, in a way that I can't imagine. The wood it is made of is the only remaining supply of the elements used in a great and terrible ritual. And again, we circle back to that change that I mentioned. The one that resulted in the gossamer, and the one that was repaired by the lily. This change in the world produced many great powers. These three items are all connected to it. It, like the flower, is inert and impervious to time, and it cannot be destroyed. It cannot be scratched. It cannot be burned, cursed, or otherwise magicked upon. These two prior items are perhaps some of the most potent pieces of magic that this or any world has ever known. And even the two combined cannot put out an aura that will pass through the walls of this box. This box will keep anything you need safe. It will hide it from those you may not wish to find certain things. This may seem a trinket whose effects are on the level of my magicked teacups, but I guarantee you it is not. I cannot tell you what use you may have for it, but know that it certainly does have its uses. These are important items. Truthfully, I don't trust the gossamer or the flower to be outside of the trunk for very long. I have been their safekeeper for a very long while, but I am not so arrogant as to think I've been successful for any reason other than thanks to this box. Even a petal of this flower, a few threads of this gossamer, any of these will act like a magnet for magic. If you take one, you must take all three. I can see the way they call for you, the way they resonate with you. And I think you can see it too. I do not practice magic, but I would have to be blind not to see the resonance between you and between their power. I will not force them upon you, nor will I say you must take them now. You have time to think, child. These are precious things, and they are things that I'm sure may weigh on the mind. Just because you are meant to have them doesn't necessarily mean that you must take them now. I will enclose them back in the trunk for now, and we will sit and we will enjoy tea together. And you may even choose to buy pixie wings and bottled moonlight from me. And I will let you contemplate these powers and whether you want to take them on. You may decide that magic is your passion, something that draws your interest, but something you do not want to entrench yourself in. And that is well and fine. And while I sincerely believe the world would take a somber pause at that loss, it is your decision to make. If you want to know what is truly possible, what you are truly capable of, the lengths that magic, true magic, can go to, that is when you will decide to take these. You may know that now. You may not. Either way, the choice is yours. Now, sit back, relax. I believe I have some stories to listen to. Please, tell me how my dear Dorian is doing.